Your husband is currently under arrest for money laundering and possible terrorist activity. I said, so where do I go? Can I just simply go to the police station and with the money? And they said, if you take the cash to police station, it will be considered as a bribery.
It's a phone scam that has seen victims lose thousands of dollars, and now it's taken a tech twist. Victims receive a call from what appears to be their loved one's phone. The person on the other line says their family member is in trouble and they need to pay by putting money into a Bitcoin machine and turning that money into digital currency. Now, it's nearly impossible to trace, and one common complaint that we're hearing from victims is that they believe that police aren't doing enough to track down these scammers, but police say that's a frustration that they share.
It's cold comfort to us and very frustrating to us as an organization and me personally as the head of a unit that deal in this kind of crime, that we can't do more for more people. The reality is a thing like Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency, we are just learning about ourselves and the ramifications.
Is there enough money and resources? I mean, a police budget is always stretched, but is there enough money and resources being put towards these types of cyber crimes, especially because the technology is always changing and you've got to be up to date?
As with all things in policing, it's a question of prioritizing the dollar of the taxpayer who pay our salaries here. We as a unit in the financial crimes unit always look for the best bang for the buck. You know, what investigation is going to be the most impact to the public.
Now, one of the other challenges police say is prosecuting if the fraudster is in another country, and that's assuming they can even track down the location of the scammer. And as one cybersecurity expert tells us, even those who specialize in the field can find it nearly impossible to get to the source of a scam.
The challenge is actually unbelievable. In fact, there's no way to possibly investigate. And the reason being is that hackers, when they use technologies to conduct scams, whether to call people through some very clever IP technology, and then they look for payments from bitcoins or technologies that run on blockchains, it's virtually impossible to detect where they are and how to track them down. They typically stay in the shadows, and they use technologies and services to keep them in the shadows. Cyber criminals work at rapid speed, and it's almost very difficult, if not impossible, to catch up with them. So by the time we see some form of policies or tools put into place, they are probably X versions ahead that we probably wouldn't be able to catch up with them, or in fact discover a new technique that we'd have to wrap our heads around.
Now, it all sounds very bleak, and Binder says with emergent technologies, these types of scams will only get more sophisticated, and he says we'll always be playing catch up, and law enforcement, the best thing that law enforcement can do is educate the public about the scams that emerge so that people don't fall victim. And police also are encouraging victims to continue to report, because even one small piece of information can help them crack the case open.